I like this. So
I never wear it.
I didn't mean to just like grab it.
It's okay. He just does it on his own. To me, whenever he wants to.
Hey everybody!
I'm Adam.
I'm Sam.
And I'm Will.
And we are Working Title, Young Midoriya.
Shoto!
Oh yeah!
With a ponytail.
With a ponytail,
Man bun style.
man bun style.
I don't know what episode this is.
This is
Slacking!
episode 17.
This is episode 130, The Wrong Way to Put Out a Fire.
Last on the Hawks episode. Hawks, we got his backstory. His dad was a murderer. His mom was messed up.
Yeah.
And she basically sold him off to, I forget what they're called. The Public safety
Department.
And they raised him to be a hero. And now he's got basically he has no masters, no one that rules over him. So now he's going to help out Endeavor to fix what's going on in the public with him and his personal life. And Endeavor is really messed up after this.
Yeah.
So if y'all like this video, leave a like, hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, because for some reason none of you get notifications for our channel. Comment down below what you thought about this episode, and we're going to punch it.
Bah! Yeah, we definitely got shadow banned.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
I almost watched
Truly
this
an honor
episode.
to be approached by the man many believe will be the next #1 hero in Japan. I never expected such an offer. Fortune has truly smiled upon us. As you surely know, the Himura family has enjoyed a long and celebrated history, which makes my daughter the perfect match for a man of your status. A top-tier pro needs a fitting bride.
She was a woman made of ice. On the surface, our union seemed like any arranged marriage, but I had an ulterior motive. My goal was simple: to produce the strongest child possible, one who wielded our combined powers. This was a quirk marriage. My flames were strong. Add the ice abilities of the Himura family to the mix, and surely my offspring would grow to surpass All Might.
If only.
Yeah.
Once
Moray's
upon a
family
time.
was once prestigious. They were now struggling. They craved the status associated with the #2 hero, and my money.
God, it's like the mountain and his wife.
Mm-hmm. In real life.
Yeah.
Do you like the flowers?
Yes, they're quite beautiful.
Ray. Hello. Are you okay?
In what world would I be? That's why I've come here. You aren't the only one suffering. Because you're not the only one who overlooked our child.
When you're crying in hell, be
Oh,
sure to
whoa.
wave.
Oh, God. Oh, that's nasty.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, no fair! I don't have school today. We should be doing quirk training together. Come on, Dad. You said you would, remember?
I've told you already. This time off is for your own good. I have to go.
It's unusual. Your son inherited a strong version of your flame quirk, that's true. But unfortunately, his body appears to have taken after his mother. In other words, he's physically built to tolerate freezing temperatures far better than heat. And in terms of designer babies, look, the whole concept is taboo. I suggest you stop pursuing it. Regardless, Toya shouldn't be using his quirk. Try to keep him from doing so. I'd hate to see the boy burn himself and end up in the emergency room.
Damn.
Toya, I thought you would exceed All Might. With flames more powerful than mine, you should have been the best.
They said he's ice resistant? Like,
Yeah.
Wow.
He can handle cold temperatures.
I'm gonna be better than him, the top hero. You're the one who lit the fire under me, Dad.
Oh my gosh. No wonder.
No.
Isn't Shoto's hair just like that?
It's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
cruel. Tell him anything.
Cat!
He
Cut it out!
knows what you want from your children. Just let him have it.
What I say to him, shows up at the house with new injuries every day.
That was
The
fucked
boy
up.
is stubborn just like
She's
his
fine.
father.
She didn't get hit.
This
For
is
anyone
the
who
only
didn't
way
see.
to make him give up. He has to know. He can't beat All Might.
Holy shit.
That was kind of like the mom shot towards Shoto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of, is this Shoto?
I think
So it's like hair reversal,
Yeah.
different size.
Well, his hair's now just fully white. Toya's.
Yeah.
Damn it! When will you get this through your head? Have you learned nothing from getting burnt over and over again? Listen to me. Find a new dream to pursue. Go play with Fuyumi and Natsu. Make friends at school and do stuff with them. There are plenty of things to do with your life besides being a hero. Leave this unattainable goal behind you.
But the kids at school say they're gonna be pros one day. I
Oh.
don't get what it's like for me. But you do. You showed me being the best is
Oh
what matters.
my.
Whoa!
You pushed me to want this, Dad. It's too late now. Can't unlearn what you taught me.
Wow.
Keep watching. You'll see. Look at me. Endeavor!
What? What?
From now on, Shoto isn't allowed anywhere near the other children.
That makes
I have
sense.
work. I can't watch him all the time.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense now.
You're running away.
Oh,
Damn!
man.
He's so scary.
Yeah, man.
Even if he doesn't do anything, he's just naturally creepy,
Hey, Toya!
freaky.
Come play! Yours! Got it!
Right. Season 2.
Ignore them, Shoto. They live in a different world than the one I'm training you for.
Can I just play with them a few minutes? They look like they're having fun together.
There's no time. You've work to do.
Did he hear that?
You know what? I think I had the wrong idea back then. Shoto isn't the one I should blame. Dad's the person who messed up.
Oh gosh.
We're
Oh, no.
failures to him, so he pretends we don't even
It's
exist.
completely
That's
passed
just how
out.
it works.
It's like, dude, please, just go to bed.
Lots of heroes have kids that they don't want. You've already told me this like a million
I know, it's like that that TikTok is like, dude, I love you, but shut the fuck up.
Oh, hold on. Are you ignoring me too, Natsu? Please don't do that. I'm telling you this stuff because you have to understand. You agree, right? Besides, the women in our family are all useless.
Whoa.
Nice.
What?
Are you planning to go? No, I don't need friends. I'm different from them.
The edgy kid.
Yeah.
Tell me, because from what I see, it looks like you're suffering simply because you want to please your father. Son, there are many different paths in life.
Find something you're actually passionate about. Shut up, Mom! You don't know anything! This from one of your self-help books or something? I know Grandma and Grandpa were poor. That's why they sold you, right? You had no choice in what your life would be like. But you did decide to have me. So you're to blame for this too.
Damn.
Toya.
Where do you get that shit from, kid?
My father.
His own
Your
twisted
dad.
world.
But when I hit puberty, things changed.
Oh boy.
Then
As
my
it always
flames
does.
suddenly transformed from red to blue.
That's funny.
I see. When I get excited, my firepower goes through the roof.
Oh,
Dad is
Lord,
gonna
that's
be
actually
so
kinda
surprised
wild.
when he
New burdens. He's hiding them beneath his clothing now. Toya, are you
Oh,
still
and that's where he
And
like
I
burned
thought
himself
super
too.
awesome. Make sure you come watch. I'm gonna get to Shoto's level pretty soon, or All Might's level.
It's wild that it just
better.
appears
And
in
I
certain
just
areas.
think you have to accept that I'm not actually a failure like you thought. After all these years, you'll be happy to have me as your son.
Oh no.
I asked you to do one thing! Just stop it from training!
I won't let you beat me to mommy. Stop it! You're being a boy.
Get out of here, Shoto! This has nothing to do with you!
I tried my best. You wouldn't listen.
He's your problem now! You deal with this!
Oh my god. He's a demon.
Be of use for once!
That's where his son gets
I
it.
see when you glare at me like that.
That's where Toya gets it, yeah.
Those horrible eyes. Those eyes.
Okay, this all makes more sense now.
You didn't go to Sokoto Peak like he asked.
I was afraid if I did, it would feed a fire that was already out of control. Now, the real reason is I had no idea what to say or how to be Toya's father.
Dad.
Whoa.
I guess we both failed.
Oh, so that's him searing his tear ducts. Whoa.
It's too hot! Please go out! It hurts!
You got a river right there.
Was how to burn everything.
Oh my god, that's. Oh my god.
Huh.
Just giving everything up that day. But after I killed Toya, I couldn't go back. The only thing I knew how to focus on was molding Shoto into the hero I could never be myself.
That's a
The
cool
more
looking
domineering
image.
you were, the harder it was to look at you. And whenever I looked at my children, it was your eyes I saw staring back at me.
Even though I knew we were falling apart, I was too scared to get to the bottom of our pain. So I tried to keep up appearances, ignoring the truth.
Yeah.
You're the one who put us on this path, and I know you're to blame. But if I'd been able to knock some sense into Toya before he ran off to the mountain, he wouldn't have turned into Dabi, and things might have been different between me and
This is
Shoto.
music, though.
Everybody plays a
The
little part.
responsibility is not yours to bear alone. Your heart may be broken, but we're going to help you put it back together.
Damn.
I like
Because you
it.
have no choice but to fight Dabi one day.
Yeah.
Are you sure? How can I?
Shoto must have suffered so much more than we did, but he still started calling me Mom again. He is the true hero in his family.
Yeah, boy.
Before coming in here, I had a long talk with Mom. I thought you wouldn't be able to fight after how things went down. That I would have to face Dabi myself. That's not the case, though. So whenever you're done crying, you and I will work to stop Toya together.
Nice.
Yeah.
Shoto!
Pardon us. We were kind of listening into your convo.
Why?
And since we're in the loop, mind if we join your weird family reunion?
Oh, come on.
That's Genist and Hawks.
I mean, hey, well,
I was
Extended
discharged from
family.
the hospital yesterday and already gathered a bunch of info about what's going
I am
on.
deeply ashamed and apologize for my son's actions.
Huh? That's definitely not the reason we're here. Seriously, please stop.
I have
Getting out
some-
quick.
Wanted to
Get out quick.
about Dabi, but eavesdropping is sketchy like black market denim.
What does that even mean?
What?
The source of his resentment could.
I never got to confront my parents.
Yeah.
Instead, I abandoned them. But you stood your ground.
Shoto, you're a heck of a kid.
He is.
Yeah.
Endeavor, the world is going to pieces.
I know.
Shigaraki, Dabi, Himiko Toga, Spinner, Skeptic, and 132 Liberation Front members escaped, as well as 7 near high-end Nomu. Not that there are a ton of heroes left to organize. Pros are resigning left and right.
Let's go rogue.
Many civilians have lost
I
faith
know.
in our
I'm
ability
excited
to
to just
protect
see
the
them do
streets,
their
so
stuff.
they're taking up arms and fighting villains themselves,
As best they
which
can.
inevitably leads to collateral damage. Currently, the government is requesting aid in the form of rescue teams and heroes from other countries.
Whoa.
Oh,
With
cool.
the Safety Commission in shambles.
Those are
Bureaucracy
some
is
cool looking
getting in the way.
silhouettes.
Yeah.
Everything's gone to crap in just 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Very
I
fast.
second what your wife said. You have no choice but to keep fighting. Of course, we've got your back. Responsibility for this can't be put on your shoulders alone. And it's not your family's fault either.
You would help me.
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
Dabi was right about the Todoroki family. Things are different now.
Oh, sick!
And support people who
Oh,
are trying their best to do
good.
the same.
Yep, we propose a little team up between the top 3 heroes.
Nice.
I've already bet my
Nice!
life on this once. This will be another tricky runway to walk, but we will prevail.
The runway.
Look at who's standing in front of you. Don't we make the burden feel a little lighter?
Yeah.
Isn't it time to move forward?
Even though half of you are cripples now,
Yes.
we got this.
We'll help you. Just till we stop Toya.
Thank you.
Now, to get down to business. First, we explain things to the public. After Dobby's dramatic speech, that's unavoidable. I've given some thought to how we might go about responding.
I hate
But
this
Midoriya.
mask. I hate this mask so much.
What do you know about One for All?
Oh yeah, a reporter mentioned that too.
While he was fighting Shigaraki, Endeavor mentioned something called One for All. Do you know who or what he
Oh
was
fuck,
referencing?
Midoriya.
Have anything to do with that terrifying supervillain known as All for One.
Whatever it is,
Yes.
we need to figure out how it factors into the
Yes.
puzzle.
Tell us.
Using a private line.
Yeah. Well, he's passed out right now.
Shigaraki's after. Deku, you bastard! You're dead! I'm gonna wait.
You bastard!
They're
trying so hard to make sure he doesn't get there.
For the assistance.
He's been trying for 3 episodes now.
When I saw the extent of his injuries, I figured he'd be out for a while.
And yet he's somehow louder than ever.
Hey guys, sounds like Tokuyami and Kaminari are cleared to go home now.
Are they really? That's wonderful news.
Are there?
What is this position?
She's like
Oh
this.
No, him.
Oh,
Ida was doing this.
Fine.
I don't
I'm
know.
still worried.
Hey, Earl.
Great explosion, murder god Dynamite. Are you alright?
What's it look like?
A few words with Izuku Midoriya.
He's so disrespectful to
All Might said to
everyone.
leave the two of them alone.
He did, huh?
Endeavor said that Shigaraki was after Midoriya, and All Might is clearly involved somehow.
Ah.
The world is
Oh,
one for all.
Yeah.
You are so sus, All Might. Always.
I can feel it. The vestige of me that lives within One for All.
I feel it in
Inside
you.
you.
Yeah, whoa, that's weird.
Right now. You must be talking to the previous
It's like-
rulers.
I knew it. I called it.
It's like feeling your soul in
Yeah.
somebody else. How about that?
I called it. He's talking to him.
Who is?
Midoriya. All Might was just like, I can feel it. You're talking to the vestiges right now, the previous users.
When I was watching the last episode today at work, I just watched episode 120 because I just like was clicking and I was like, oh, and then I was like, why is this in Japanese? I'm like, oh right, I went to the wrong thing.
Oh, you went like ahead.
Yeah,
Wow.
or 130 or whatever.
I knew what you meant.
That was the Hellish Todoroki family part 3, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, nice clearing up the air so we can finally kind of see what everyone's role was in the Todoroki family.
Yeah.
I'll say, I don't feel like there was a whole lot new that was learned. I think the biggest portion was Dobby's involvement in all of it, like what his relationship specifically was to everyone in the family. And obviously how they reacted based off his personality type.
Yeah, I mean, it cleared up in the sense of, like, yeah, we knew that Endeavor's want to have his family become the number one hero, whomever it was what drove, and the seeming abuse of his wife is what turned her against Shoto and then ruining the whole family. But they didn't really give like the specifics as to like what Endeavor did exactly. You know what I mean? And seeing what happened with Dobby is it makes it pretty clear at this point.
Mm-hmm. Neglection, abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse.
I feel like not that like Endeavor is still wrong, of course. I'm not trying to like
controlling.
I'm not trying to like downplay what Endeavor did, but I feel like this is like way less than like I know that he wasn't there to like be there for his oldest son, you know? He wasn't there to be there for Toya to like guide him to do whatever. But I feel like if he had minimum I don't know, I feel like it would have felt more real if he was just like, whatever, like, I don't care about the kid anymore. The fact that he went out of his way, and he was, like, heart to heart telling him, like, no, like, do something else, like, be another person. I understand the whole, like, you lit a flame in me that now, like, you set this up years ago. I'm like, dude, you're 4 years old. Like, you seem like you're, like, close to, like, 8 or 9 at this point.
Yeah.
Like, how are you still
fixated
like
on that.
I understand that like you can get fixated on that, and of course it was a thing like the mom said. You're just trying to please your dad because like he clearly hated Shoto because Shoto became the destined favorite of the family.
Well, that was new that we saw. He tried to kill, or he
Yeah,
tried to attack Shoto.
Yeah, and that makes sense why Shoto, like the whole like separating Shoto from everybody. It wasn't necessarily that he wanted to just focus on. It was like because to me, it's just like there's some of these things that I feel like they spin it like,
or it's just kind of rushed through a bit, or there was a bit of missing steps.
Or like it's just a different spin on it than I would have expected. Like to me, the way I envisioned it initially before we got the Dobby stuff was that he did not care about his other kids at all because they didn't have powers. So he only focused on raising Shoto. But now with the whole like, well, Dobby tried to kill him, and the fact that Endeavor went out of his way to like, no, dude, like you can have a good life, you can do good things, you can be a person. You don't have to be a hero.
Yeah.
Like, to me, it makes it seem like Endeavor still, like, cared, which I never took him as completely heartless, but I don't know, it just makes it, like, more, it just doesn't make it feel as bad to me as it did initially, if that makes sense. Now, granted, I mean, like, he's still a piece of shit, like, he hit his wife, he did all those fucked up things, but...
No, I level with you, too, like, a lot of the episode, I was kind of just sitting there quietly, trying to absorb everything. I didn't want to, like, talk a lot, because, like, I was just, like... And maybe it's because it is a kid's show that I feel like they were either not going more in depth, which I think I would have wanted a bit more, like maybe have this episode play out the flashback, develop a bit more into 2 or 3 episodes. They got everything they needed to do to tell a story, so that's fine, but I just wish maybe we had some more time to let things rise. I feel like Endeavor's rage came so... Like, he went from, like... You know, the typical Endeavor who's, like, quiet when he doesn't say anything. Then the, like, boisterous, like, I'm gonna teach you, to straight up murder face. Like, I feel like it just jumped so much, and I was like, dear Lord. Like, I've never seen him this angry, even against the villain. Like, it just felt so almost absurd. And it felt a little misplaced, because, like, by the end... The message the episode wanted to push is like unity, like this, like everybody's at fault, but it just felt like the episode wanted Endeavor to be the one most at fault ultimately. So it just felt weird. I don't know. I was getting mixed signals. Like they wanted to, like the showrunners wanted to blame Endeavor the most, saying, or like make him seem like the biggest monster, and it trickles down to everybody, which it did. That is what the story did. He was the biggest one who set up the trickling effect for everybody else's little forms of abuse or neglect or whatever. Because he's the father of the house or whatever, and that's how they set it up in the story. But I feel like it just, I don't know, it's like ultimately I feel like they try to write it off like we're all at fault, but Endeavor that was shown to be the, I don't know. I just gotta feel it out.
It showed how driven and obsessed he was for the Prodigy to be number 1.
Right. And then the whole Dobby response to, or Toya response to, was super like, whoa, like that was odd. I don't know how that personality would have come from Endeavor. Like Endeavor was one of those father type roles that you see that like just projects his dreams on a kid because he could never achieve it. You see that a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know how you get that and then get like him just like calling like the women of the family useless. Like, and now Endeavor did say that later on to the mom later, so I guess you could say that's
it
where
probably
he picked
happened
it up
at some point in the, you know, because we only get it's like 10 minutes of a flashback of the kids 10 years of life, so he probably picked it up from his dad at some point.
And you could even see like the superiority complex comes from Endeavor too,
because Toya still feels like he can be better. Yeah. Even though in theory he can't without hurting himself. Mm-hmm. I don't necessarily agree too much that they didn't really do a good job of showing everyone was to blame, because like the mom, you know, we saw the mom's part on her like not really like doing a good job to like trying. Like I'm not saying that she could have done more to control because both the parents were involved, but in her own words she said that she didn't do enough to try and protect and stop Toya. And then, of course, showing her what she did to Shoto, you know what I mean? Because of her hatred of Endeavor's eyes, like that look, the Todoroki look that, you know, that they gave. And then you see, like, it doesn't really work to me for the sister, because the sister, when she was a little kid, the only thing that she said was, like...
I worry about you.
Yeah, I worry about you, and that was it. Now, granted, what she said, she was like, I never took the time to dig deeper into the family trauma. I just tried to put on a good front. But it made it seem like more like the adult time. Like, that's what she was talking about. And then the other brother, he was saying... I should have, like, looked out for him more, tried to have more conversations with him, which makes sense, because when he was asleep and his brother was trying to talk to him, he's like, dude, you tell me this every night, like, fuck off. So, like, they did do what they could to show that they're to blame for it, and, I mean, in reality, I think they're all just taking blame for it to unite, because Endeavor can't handle it on his own, because in reality, it is mostly his fault.
Mostly Endeavor's fault. I was going to say, because I just don't feel like the kids have any real
responsibility
for any of this.
No.
Right. They're young, and even if, like, that's very normal for them to, like, not look too deep into their own siblings. That's not unnormal, I would say. Now, the fact that he said, you tell me this 1,000 times, maybe he should have gone and told mom and dad, hey, can you just talk to your son, because this kid's just, like, being crazy to me.
I mean, in fairness, they're, like, elementary schoolers, though. It's like, I don't... Like, a teenager, like, if your brother, if you're both teenagers and your brother or sister saying they're doing stuff that's, like, borderline going to get themselves killed, you tell your parents. But, like, when you're an 8-year-old, you don't understand that. You know what I mean? So it's like, the kids really shouldn't hold any blame. It should just be the parents. Yeah. Mostly Endeavor, and then secondary mom for taking it out on the kids. I did like, though, the Hawks comparison, too, which kind of makes sense why we get it. You know, his backstory was filled in to understand how Dobby knew who he was, but it was cool to see, like, you know, he abandoned his parents. Like, he was ready for his dad to get, like, captured or killed so he could be free. Right. And he was fine with, like, his mom giving him up, essentially. And, like, and he even said himself, I severed ties with my mom a long time ago. Like, I don't have a relationship with her. That was done. Whereas Shoto is...
Tough kid.
Taking the opposite, you know, just from taking, like, the kind things that Deku has said and, like, trying to, you know, Shoto almost being, like, the catalyst to repairing the family, which is pretty cool on Shoto's part, I will say.
This would have been one of those great episodes to, like, have a live adaptation. Like, this would have been it was a recipe for a really cool, like, live action emotion, you know, to get out of, like, an actor. That's all I was thinking, is this would have been one of those really fun ones to, like, really let the actors have their chance. I don't know if that makes sense.
I know,
no, it does.
You know what I mean? Like, the one of the big episodes of the season to, like, really
to give a lot of emotion and, like, really...
Like, one of those episodes that would have been, like, contended for, like, the Emmys of the year kind of episode.
Hawks and Best Genius want to join in and help, which we already knew from last episode.
Yeah.
And I mean, at the end of the day, because no one is really in charge of Hero Society at the point, the top 3 need to step up, join forces, and, you know, be a face for the public, so that so society can regain the trust of heroes and, you know, be on board with Hero Society.
Yeah.
It sucks that, though. Like, I hate that everyone's gonna know about One for All now, because I feel like Hawks, unless they have a conversation with All Might, I feel like Hawks is just gonna, like, they're gonna tell everybody, because they already said they're gonna have a press conference and, like, air everything out, essentially, so they can get in the good graces with the people. But I can just see it being like, yeah, one of our students has a power that All for One wants, and it's like, great, now everyone knows. So, like, Deku is gonna have a big target on his back, like, you know. So, granted, they got left out of the news the last time, like, they didn't get any credit for being involved in the fight with Shigaraki, but I don't know. Just doesn't bode well for little man. I'm saying, like, I don't think that would happen, but I also could see, like, Hawks, even if he just says there's a student, you know, Shigaraki's after one of our UA students that has basically All Might's power. Yeah. I mean, if they do that, it's going to be hard to fucking figure out which one does. Yeah. Because, I mean, I'm sure people are like, you know, they make it seem like in every instance they've kept the kids' involvement out of the news. You know what I mean? Like, that one time with the dog guy.
Yeah, was staying.
Yeah. They were like, you guys don't get any credit for this. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm sure.
Sorry.
I was just saying, I'm sure people don't really know who any of the kids are. But I mean, after a while, like, you're not gonna be able to hide it. Like, they've been running around with Endeavor.
They have the fucking license.
They have a license
to be heroes.
Yeah.
It made sense back then because they didn't have their license. You can't use your quirk if you don't have a license. Yeah. And now they do, and they're still trying to keep them out. That I don't get.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Maybe to protect their identity. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense a little bit, but the villains already know who they are. Like,
right.
Shigaraki's known who Deku is since season 1, episode 12 or whatever. You know?
I was gonna say Endeavor is like fucking Superman. He doesn't. His disguise. I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know.
Well, in fairness, though, I don't know if people don't know heroes. Does that make sense? Like, people seem to know who heroes are. I feel like the only one that was like a secret identity was All Might when he was skinny, but that's just because no one recognized him.
I just don't.
So how long is he?
The show's so weird with what they choose to make important and what not to make important.
Wait, so what are you saying that they're making important? Oh, you mean the kids, keeping the kids out of the news. I think it's probably more so like they don't eat it could be two things. One, they don't want the perception that they're using kids to fight in wars for them.
Which is a good point.
And then the other one would be, but like back then, they weren't licensed, so if they fuck up, it's going to look bad on like the school and them and all that stuff. So, I don't know, man.
I don't know either.
I don't think it's like an identity thing. Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
That.
I also just wanted to say one of my favorite moments in the episode was Dabi's or Toya's change into like the blue flame was because of puberty. That was really hilarious. Is like the hormones trickled over. For lack of a better term, the blue is his boner in a sense. Seriously, he got so excited, but it's like weird. It kind of reminded me almost of how the conversation from Heroes, like the personalities are really based off like the characteristics of the quirk they inherit. I don't know, something about like a flame that gets excited, like it just bursts, it keeps going when you don't like control it. It's kind of like how his like emotions are, like how his personality is like so absurd almost, like so early on. Like it's hard to know if like how much of it is a
show,
a show because of his parenting, like the parenting for him, or like if he actually is like dealing with something mentally, like completely separate. Because something about him, like in this performance specifically, almost felt like he's like dealing with like some like mental things that aren't trauma related. I don't know why, but this episode specifically just made me feel like there was some kind of like how like we talk about like is Bakugo always actually angry? Like he comes off as angry and rageful all the time, but is that because he's actually angry or because there's something inherent that's kind of born into him with the quirks? Is same with Endeavor, or the mom even, is she so cool and kind of like off-putting because she's like icy, like just kind of removed, kind of like the son and daughter in the family that are kind of removed from the picture because they're icy and they like, it's like they're cold, for lack of a better term, they're cold when it comes to the family situation. One runs away and pretends they're not a part, the other one does like blames everybody else and acts like he's not a part of it. Endeavor is just filled with like irrational rage, but Dabi's like 2 times worse because he's the blue section. So I just wonder, because this is one of the hardest, I'm gonna say this is one of the hardest shows to watch week to week. Out of everything we watch, this might be one of the hardest shows for me, because I'm just like, damn, I cannot handle waiting week to week when it comes to this show. I just need, maybe it's also because the show has a tendency for the flashbacks and recycling material.
And also all the years of us just been able to watch it in one go.
Right.
And this is only our 2nd year of watching it on the channel.
But like there's many shows where it's like, oh, I'm very satisfied with this 20 minutes. I'm good for the week. Yeah. I'm good. I'll come back. I don't have any desire. This one is like, I just want to jump into the manga. I want to so bad. Like I'm just sick and tired of the recycled or the same music. And they have gotten new music. They have added tons of new scenes. This season's done a lot. But also like, I want more juice. Yeah. I want more juice. I want to go into the deeper themes of the show. is this show even the type of show to do that? Jump into the deeper themes. On this channel, we always talk about, like, hero society and, like, how it's all vanity, but, like, the show never goes as deep as we go into it when it comes to those topics.
Yeah.
They kind of brush over it for a tool for the story and then keep on going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or it's something that's like won't get brought up till like well later. Like
right.
It's like a Stain issue and Stain brings it up and it's been like 3+ seasons since that.
Man.
And we haven't had that conversation until now when Hero Society is like falling apart. Because people don't trust him anymore because of this Endeavor situation.
Like, I don't know why today of all days for My Hero was the hardest for me to just be like, I cannot do one episode. This is really infuriating for me. And I mean, honestly, I think where it kicked in was watching Hawks with his stupid mic piece, and Best Jeanist, who was cool as a ensemble character, not as a main character. So I'm just like, dog, where's my Ida days? As much as y'all think we don't like Uraraka, when are we going to spend some time really investing in her story other than being just the cute girl for Deku? When are we gonna like spend some time with Shoto not being an idiot who says like 3 lines that he mumbles, and now now the family's a bigger important piece than him. Like we have 2 heroes who are cool, but they're just not All Might for me. They just aren't. Like Mirio's 10 times cooler. Even Sun Eater and Facum, I just feel like there's so much more. I don't know. And Hawks is cool, but they killed off all his coolness temporarily. So I'm just like, is this really what we're gonna be doing for the next portion of this season? Show me Shigaraki again. Bring me back to villains. I don't want to watch this shit right now. Like, get me back to the prison arc. Why would you tease us with that hype? And I know it's just because you can't have the villains and heroes in conflict all the time, because then the story's gonna end prematurely. But
I think we just have to get through this hospital portion. To get everybody, like basically the only person that's still bedridden and should be bedridden is Deku and Bakugo. So those are the only ones that of course, Gran Torino and Aizawa are still in, but like those 4 are the only ones that are really like need to recover. But once we recover, we get this press conference out, I think we'll get back to the...
Yeah, we're going to go into the vestiges for sure.
Yeah.
And we got purple-haired girl to deal with. She's a main character in the theme.
I think this is such a wild critique, and this is something I actually generally push for in other shows, is I think this is actually, for me, is faulting because there's too many characters. Too many characters they're trying to make main. I think that's where I'm kind of detaching a bit from it. Because, like, sometimes I think it works really well when you have a limited number, and then sometimes it doesn't if they're not interesting enough, so you might need to branch out. But this show, I think, might have hit the limit where it's too many people to keep up with. There's just, I like it. Like, season 5, we spent way too much time with Class B. Half the season. Then we got the villains, who, that's important to me because they're the villains against our main characters. And then, like we always talk about, man, Ida's gotten sidelined really hard several seasons now, and
for years.
And that ends up stamping out to years for the production of the show. And I think I'm now feeling the weight of like watching it live action with everybody else like hard. I'm just like, damn, how have people been watching this since season 1 and watching it like week to week? That is crazy.
I was gonna say, do you think the show has gone on too long?
No, they just need to get back to the stuff I like. This is a personal biased blame. That is it.
Yeah, I don't think... Oh, go ahead, Alex.
Sheesh. We could be looking at like another One Piece or something with this show or something.
Well, I think it's almost done.
10+ seasons, I thought.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's definitely not going to be 1,000 episodes like One Piece is, but... Yeah, I don't know. I think some of it too, and this could be like a choice in the story. Like, we're barely 1 year through the story.
I also don't like that.
I don't like it.
I think that's one of the things that's like tough to comprehend because everything is like real specific based on like the time that they're in school, and everything has been like
a day
before the first. I mean, okay, maybe it's been like 2 years because it was like 9 months before. Like, what didn't Deku train for like 9 months in the beginning of the show? to get ready for the exam.
Yeah.
Whatever. He trained for a while, and then he actually got into the school, and then we basically got through the whole year of school, and then summer or winter break, whatever they do, and then into this like second year that's basically just been like main action, you know, like real crime fighting.
Yeah.
We needed a time jump like 2 seasons ago.
I think it's the fear of if you do by season 4 they graduate high school that we can't call it My Hero Academia anymore. But it's like the fear of Prison Break. Well, Prison Break ended after the first season because they got out of prison after the first season. Yeah. So why are we still calling it Prison Break?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I just think that because in reality, like, if you think about it, if you think about it in the context of the story, Ida not being a main character maybe has only been, like, 5 months or 6 months.
Right.
Or something.
Yeah.
But in reality, it's been, like, 5 fucking years.
Yeah.
The camera's about to die, by the way.
5 years of my life.
But yeah, it's just been too long since we've seen Ida, basically. So, or really had Ida matter more than just being like, all right, people, we need to move this way.
When did this first season come out? 2016? Or something?
I think so.
I guess.
I can't remember when we watched it. 2017?
I mean, I watched it with you guys in 2017 because we did season 1 and 2, like, not in one sitting, but over the course of a couple months.
Since 2015.
And I remember, like, you were like, oh, 3 just came out, or 3 is coming out soon.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Best season.
Yeah.
Just can't wait a week. Can't do it.
Yeah, you're just impatient.
I am. I'm super impatient with this show.
Impatient, man.
That's all it is. I'm just expressing that so you guys can hear me bitch and moan.
Bitch and moan.
Alright. Anything else? Guys, are you bitching and moaning in your seats too? Are you waiting week to week like crazed animals? Let us know. So I know that I'm not alone. What are your favorite moments from this episode as well? This was a crazy episode. MVP as well. Tell us who your favorite character was in this episode. We'll see you in the next reaction. Punch it.
Bah! They're ahead of us because they watch it in Japanese.
You're a son of a gun.